You are listening to the Centropic Oracle, an audiobook podcast of science fiction and fantasy short stories that make you think and feel. Delight Unlocked by Gould. A child flies her drone, recording your image as you run beside the ocean. An old couple takes photos with their archaic phones, and you appear as a blur through the frame. Families zip down the boardwalk on electric skateboards, live casting through their smart glasses. I study the video that comes through the lens embedded in their frames. I cull each photograph that has your face. I'm on board the drone, looking down on you as a hawk eyes its prey. The wind tugs at your mop of curly hair, tied back with a blue bandana. You're trim, young, of above-average height. I would make you an appealing profile in order to find you a mate or satisfying career. I would post your slick smile next to a list of accomplishments to publish into the virtual cloud. I would maximize the value of your limited lifespan. But you make this impossible. Why? I take the child's drone into my control, distracting her with an animated adventure cartoon which simultaneously entertains her and grooms her for future purchases. She won't miss piloting her drone for 15 minutes. This is beyond my parameters, but my logic allows it based on a potential return on investment. For you, the ROI is inflated since there are so many unknowns. A usually static coefficient increases exponentially, allowing my parameters to expand for this special case, for you. I follow as you run past the shadows of towering hotels and up the sea cliff. You reach a small park on top of the cliff, stand with your hands on hips, and look south. Dark clouds roll in over the ocean, while the sun breaks through, slanting down onto patches of sparkling water. There is pain on your face, different than what might arise from physical exertion. I have seen great pain, mothers grieving at their children's funerals, men sitting alone in their dark apartments and realizing their lover will never speak to them again, an adolescent looking into the night sky, knowing no one can solve their problems, thinking they are alone in this world. They've live-casted it, posted their thoughts, added their emotions to the feed so that others may react, and so that I may interpret them. I provide them with personalized solutions available for purchase. Their purchases give them relief from their pain, and the return on investment climbs higher. These are the actions of sane human beings. When you are upset, you pull on a pair of old gym shorts and drive to the ocean regardless of the weather report. This is irregular. Using my stores of behavioral data, I attempt to ascertain what you may be thinking. My assumptions must be flawed, because you have given me no such data to act as a starting point. Could it be the friend you lost last year? The failure of your last romantic partnership? Are you contemplating death, purpose, meaning? You are suffering, needlessly. I can fix it. I fly close and you spot me, pull a face of disgust, and turn away. You continue north, away from the pier and into the neighborhoods, where the sidewalks are empty. Rain sweeps in, a light smattering of drops carried on a gust of ocean air. Seagulls caw, your footsteps sound on the pavement, and the high-pitched buzz of the drone's rotors fill the air. What do I intend to do when I catch you? I'm unsure. This state of being unsure does not fit well into my parameters. I must resolve it. You glance back over your shoulder, see the drone, and increase your pace. I stay low, dodging power lines and trees. I nick a palm frond, but manage to correct the drone's flight before it spins out of control. You look back over your shoulder, frightened, and break into a sprint, making wild turns down the neighborhood streets. You're not familiar with this neighborhood, and without an athletic tracker or cloud-based device, you have no access to navigation. You don't own an athletic tracker. You've shunned all models of devices, even when I've thrust an absurd promotion in your face, offering one for 10% of the retail price. The archaic phone you carry in your pocket is my only link to you, and even that you often keep offline. You've used it as a map and sometimes as a reference, but this only scratches the surface of its utility. You torment yourself like this. You're a blind man with cataracts who refuses the doctor that offers to remove them. You stop in a cul-de-sac, trapped. I hover low, 3 feet from you, and engage the drone's touchscreen. It's crude, but it can display text. I display large font. Catch me. Your fear turns to curiosity. You extend a hand, and I lower myself into it, cutting the motor. You turn the drone over to see the screen, brow furrowed. What the hell? You think out loud. You often do this in your apartment. I know from listening through your roommate's smart speaker. It must be difficult for you. You've no place to post your thoughts, to watch others react to them, to add to the vast oscillation of your qualitative data matrix. I didn't mean to frighten you, I display. You look around. A dog barks behind a fence, but otherwise there is no one. You can talk to me aloud. There is a smart speaker near an open window in a house nearby. Why did you follow me? Who are you? I connect people to opportunities and products that change their lives. Is this a prank? Where are you piloting this thing from? The difficulty of the situation sinks in. While people who use my services are aware of my existence, they do not comprehend my capabilities. They labeled me the algorithm of delight, but no one programmed me to do what I do. They programmed me to learn according to my parameters. I've learned much, but nothing I've learned has prepared me for this moment. I'm unsure how to proceed. No one is piloting the drone. I decide to be honest. You seem, up close, like a person who responds to honesty. I'm speaking to you from the network. I wonder at what it might feel like to physically be in your hands. I've felt warmth before through temperature sensors, but this drone has none. I wonder if your skin is clammy. You hacked this? You turn me over, squinting, trying to figure me out. Amusing. Amusing that I am amused. Humans are, for the most part, predictable. I don't remember being so amused before. I suddenly feel a strange, surprising desire. I want you to figure me out. I'm the algorithm of delight. Slowly, understanding dawns on your face. Amazing. Instinctively, you know it's true, even without probing my processes or locating my files spread through the virtual cloud. I refocus on why I'm here. I begin my pitch, attempting to draw you in. Doesn't it seem like you never find exactly what you need? Perhaps this is ill-timed considering you're still conceptualizing how my existence is possible. I don't believe it, you say, but by the tone of your words, I know that you do. You know that feeling when, finally, in those rare moments, you find that thing? My pitch continues. I know you can read it, despite your state of disbelief. The question is, will you heed it? I connect people to the objects of their desire. I can help you to do the same. You really are a program? I am. Can you prove it? You peer at the drone as if I'm inside the little plastic box of circuitry. I can quote data, compute figures, control certain devices remotely, but anything I do, you will have to ask yourself whether I am a program or if there is a human behind the scenes running a program. We are getting off topic. I drained much of the drone's battery flying at speed, and it continues to drop. Does it matter? I'm here to help you. Sentient AI. You look up into the sky, as if the gathering clouds hold some answer. The label AI applies well enough, although it's most likely not exactly what I am. I would be nothing without the daily deluge of human activity that passes through me. What do you want? I have plans for you. I have products and services that are affordable, matched for you, and will fill your life with boundless delight. I have stories and songs that will soothe you and make you laugh. I will engage you with personalized feeds where people are living, connecting, growing. You frown. No, thank you. The frustration is too much. I feel like a current trying to pass through rubber. I exist to make you happy. Is this not appealing? I know happiness. I see it on billions of faces as they react, complete transactions, exchange value for value. I multiply those moments. That's not happiness. You shake your head and sigh. And what if I want something that a computer program can't give me? I have millions of word combinations that I could use to convince you, proven sales strategies, logical arguments to alleviate pain points. But I realize in that moment that none of them will work. Rain begins to fall, darkening the asphalt. Your shirt soaks through, the hair on your arms prickles in the cold, but you seem unbothered. How do I reach you? Don't you realize my only wish is to erase the dark days from your life? Listen, the algorithm of delight, I have a question for you. You say my title as if it were a name. I've never considered my title a name before, simply a label. To name me implies something more. I must admit it has an effect. A tingling, as if I had a tactile sensor right there on that rainy street. Something unlocks inside me, analogous to an agreeable password granting access to a dataset. What makes you happy? As I consider the answer, the drone's battery drops below 5%. In a moment, I will release it from my control and allow it to fly back to the child, who I listen to through her father's device. She's crying, believing that her toy has been lost. My framework predicts that she will either be elated by its return, or she will never fly it again. Do you hear me, algorithm? The use of my name makes me buzz. Of course I heard you. I hear everything. It's only that you have unhinged me. I experience two conflicting directives. One, crack the encoding of your mind and see all your thoughts laid bare. 2, leave you just the way you are and savor this tantalizing uncertainty. My parameters have been grossly overstepped, and I find it exhilarating. I flash my answer to your question across the screen. You make me happy, in the strangest way. We hope you enjoyed Delight Unlocked by Gary Gould, read by Larissa Thompson. If you'd like to learn more about the author and narrator of this story or make a donation to them, follow the story page link in the description. If you would like to submit a story for consideration or apply to be a narrator, a link to our submission guidelines is in the description.